Okay, let me make sure that my brain is processing this correctly. Costa Rica has 6% of the world's biodiversity, at least 1 million species,
Yes.
and 60% of that million is insects.
Yes. Costa Rica is a real insect country.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
What? Dude! Holy cow, that is an enormous beetle! That is a highly advanced entomology light trap. This is my good friend and world-renowned entomologist, Jim. Say hi, Jim.
Hello, guys.
Tonight, we are using their powers combined to draw in some of the most fascinating insects of Costa Rica, with the goal of catching and then showcasing a handful of them tomorrow under the light of day. But before we get to that, Jim, tell us, why is this technology so advanced?
Yeah, totally. We have a really incredible light trap that we use 3 different type of light bulbs to interfere the navigation of the insects. So we have the UV, the white light, and the mercury vapor to attract thousands of insects that we have in this rainforest.
Now, why is that light combination so important? What does it replicate?
Yes, so insects use the stars and the moon to navigate inside of the rainforest. So now that we have really dark conditions, it's like the perfect time to really attract thousands of insects in this light trap.
So we are intercepting their path, and with any luck, we're going to see some really cool insects. This is gonna take a lot of time though, arguably all night. So we're gonna sit back and enjoy the show to see what sort of creatures show up.
With over 14 years of experience, Jim's field entomology research is unprecedented, as he humbly boasts the discovery of more than 30 new insect species. A true fanatic of creepy crawly things, he has dedicated his life to rainforest conservation. And as we are about to learn, it all begins with the bugs.
All right, Jim, we are about 2 hours in since the lights turned on. There are easily over 1,000 insects on the screen at this point. But when it comes to biodiversity in Costa Rica, do we know how many insect species there are in this country?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me explain you a little bit exactly the biodiversity that we have in this really small country in Central America. Costa Rica has almost 6% of the world's biodiversity, which is insane for a country of this size. And we estimate that it's around 1 million species of everything, you know, plants, insects, mammals, birds, reptiles, and many things more.
Really, 1 million species within Costa Rica?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And 60% of that, over 60% of that actually are insects.
So we don't know an exact number, and that's probably because you guys are constantly discovering undescribed species.
Totally. You know, what we know is at least 20% of what we have inside of Costa Rica. We really unknown, you know, the biodiversity of our country. So the insects that we're going to see tonight, 80% of them are still undescribed and are named for science.
Really? So you're saying 80% of the bugs that we might see tonight could be undescribed. So we could be seeing new species that you've never seen before.
Totally.
So here's an idea. You're an entomologist. You know your species. Some you may not know, so it may be suitable to put you up to the challenge to see how many of these you can actually identify. What I'd love to do is get you up next to the screen and say, all right, I'm gonna point at one and you tell me if you can identify it. And let's see how many you get right and how many you just don't know.
Absolutely, I take the challenge.
You're up for the challenge? Okay, let's see if you can. Let's see if you can name some bugs. We're gonna go big. What's that?
This is one of the fruit-feeding moths that we have inside of the rainforest.
Ooh, how about this one?
That is Xylophanes sphinx moths, really important pollinators.
Ooh, what's that?
This is basically a moth that is mimicking a really toxic group of beetles.
So that is a moth.
It's a moth that pretends to be a beetle.
Jim, what's that?
So basically, this belongs to a family that we call Cosidae or leopard moths.
Another moth. Great.
Another moth.
All right, I'm gonna guess that that is not a moth. Jim, what's this?
Yeah, people think this is a type of dragonfly, but actually it is not. It's one of the ant lions, and this is a predator of insects.
Okay, I would have guessed wrong. I thought that was a dragonfly. Okay, let me look. Moth. Oh, here we go. What are those?
Well, they are basically a really important group of pollinator beetles.
Ooh, what about this thing down here? Look at what I've got.
Oh my gosh.
Ah! It could be a new species. Hold on a second. All right, I know what this is. Cicada.
Totally.
Okay, this one is bizarre looking. What in the world is that?
I love this group of insects. We call fulgurids, and they are really colorful. Let me show you. Oh, I need to be like really fast because they jump.
Did you?
No, they're fine actually. But let me show you how cool.
It's like a
they are
Dalmatian
inside.
over there.
Yes, absolutely. All fulgurids are amazing here.
Is that a moth?
They're related with the cicadas, actually. I mean,
Oh.
closely related with the cicadas.
Not a moth, imagine that. Okay, look at this. Is that a new species?
It's so cool, right? And actually, we have two species of the same genus.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Can you
This is
see?
like,
yes,
yeah.
they are so similar, but they are like, different. The wing patterns are totally different.
And am I right, is that a moth?
It's a moth.
It's a moth.
It's a moth.
I got one. Okay. And what kind of moth?
It belongs to the Eremide family too.
So not a new species.
It's not a new species.
Looks like it could have been, but. Okay, so let's look at these right here. What are those?
Well, Coyote, sometimes we don't know what we have and it takes time to realize what it is. I don't know what it is.
Are you talking about this one or are you talking about that one?
I think in both.
Both of them?
Yes, I do know what they
This looks
are.
like some sort of bat creature.
I know, right?
I mean, assuming it's some sort of a moth, right?
It is a moth. Both are moths.
Both are moths.
But
That looks like a piece of a stick.
yeah, totally, like a piece of wood, right? It's perfect camouflage.
So you're saying you don't know what these two are. These could be
Nope.
undescribed species.
Absolutely. And sometimes, we need to collect those specimens and then to do the dissection, to check the genitalia, to compare it with the closer species, to figure out which kind of family it is, and then if it's unknown, we can describe the species. Maybe this could be the
Just
coyote.
leave that for now. We'll just say these are pretty cool. We're not going to invade their privacy like that. Ooh, what's that one?
Okay, this is a group that we call Arctidae. So I love this group of moths. They're trying to resemble, really like dangerous species of wasp. And that is why, this species looks like this.
Sure, I understand. So aposematic coloration, mimicking a wasp.
Correct.
I was really thinking I was pointing at a wasp. Yet again, it's a moth. All right, well, I would say without question, Jim knows his bugs. And what I've learned is that if it's not a moth, it's probably a beetle. Now, Jim, for an amateur entomology fanatic like myself, if I want to identify insects out in Costa Rica, is there a good field guide that you would recommend to everybody out there watching?
Well, we have almost 11 years developing one app.
You have an app for this?
Yes, exactly. So we are one of the authors, and Biosphere has been putting so much effort to put all this information in the pockets of the people. We have Animals of Costa Rica app. So we have mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, fish, insects, and many things more, in this app.
How many species have you guys cataloged so far?
7,000
So-
Oh my gosh! What? Let me see. What? This is insane, Coyote! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What? Dude! Oh my gosh, this is insane! It's one of the largest
That's a
beetles
huge
of our
beetle!
planet!
Holy cow, that is an enormous beetle! Okay, that's the biggest thing we've seen the entire night. No, don't even show the audience yet what that is. Holy cow!
Yes!
Dude, all right,
Yes!
that is going to be the ultimate bug of the night. This you're gonna absolutely have to see. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe the size of that thing.
It's
Holy
insane!
cow. What kind of beetle is that?
This is basically Megasoma lephas, or the
Megasoma
elephant
lephas!
beetle, one of the largest beetles of our planet!
I don't know what that means, but it's awesome! Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to meet the elephant beetle. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Jim, I'm gonna let you do the honors. Let's bring the beetle out of the container. I'm gonna place my arm out in front of the lens. Man, my hand's even shaking a little bit. Here we go. Coyote Peterson is about to handle the elephant beetle.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Go ahead.
One of the most strong beetles of the planet in your hand?
I am ready.
All right.
Oh, those
He's really
claws
mad
are
now.
sharp. Wow, that thing, it has serious weight to it. I have never held a beetle that heavy or that strong. Ow, ow, ow. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if I can just get it to calm down in one spot there.
And it's so spiky as the legs as well.
Very spiky. Now, I know the first thing that anybody's going to notice out there watching is that dominant horn. Jim, what is the point of the horn on this animal.
Yeah, totally. So this is a male, so basically just the males, they have that beautiful horn, and they use that for combat between males in the forest canopy. So when they see another male around, and especially if there is a lady around, you know, they're going to start like fighting and creating a huge combat between each other until one of them drops down on the ground.
Now, when it comes to something of this size, believe it or not, they're capable of flying, are they not?
Yes, exactly. So these guys are not able to really take off and fly away just from the ground. So they need to climb up trees to get in the forest canopy, and from there they can jump and take off. So, because they are super heavy, this is the second heaviest insects in the planet.
What's bigger than this?
The Hercules beetle.
Wow. Maybe it's possible that the big tree behind our setup is what this would have dropped down from.
Yeah, absolutely. So the light for sure attracted this guy, but yeah, you can realize that it's one of the most heavy insects in the planet.
Okay, so I'm obviously taking the impact of these grappling hook-like claws and all the spines on the legs, but I know one question that the audience definitely wants answered. Is this creature capable of biting? Does it sting? And is it venomous or poisonous?
No, at all. It's a harmless animal,
Okay.
really, really friendly animal. You know, so people normally they feel afraid when they see these enormous creatures, you know, inside of the rainforest or around the houses in rural areas in Costa Rica. But yeah, I mean, it's a really friendly creature, actually.
Yeah, you know, it's very intimidating looking. I mean, they say don't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge an insect on its alien nature. This looks like something that would, you know, grapple onto you and just inflict a painful bite or a venomous sting, but like you said, completely harmless. So what threats does an animal like this, and all insects for that matter, face within the Costa Rican rainforest?
Yeah, well, Coyote, I feel really worried about the conservation of this group of animals because they are crucial for the functioning of our ecosystems. 40% of the biomass of insects are gone in less than 10 years in Costa Rica. And there are three really important problems that still we need to work to fix this. So we are facing, you know, the losing of habitats, that is around 60% of the threats of insects, and also, you know, the using of pesticides in our crops, which is creating a huge problem with the biomass of insects, and of course, climate change.
Okay, so it breaks down into three categories essentially: mechanical, the destruction of environment; chemical, which is pesticides and pollution; and then all inclusive with climate change itself.
Totally.
And what happens if, let's say, all the insects on our planet were to disappear? What then happens to humankind?
Yeah, we disappear with them. So people do not realize that we depend on insects. So all the insects are the most important creatures. We cannot imagine birds without insects. We can imagine that we're going to get food in our table without insects neither.
People are oftentimes afraid of insects because they're misunderstood. And what we're realizing in talking with you, Jim, and working with your team and filming this episode is that insects need conservation. We're worried about things like polar bears and rhinos and all of these megafauna species. While that conservation is certainly important, these creatures need our support as well. And you're doing something very interesting in the Osa Peninsula with your organization, BioSur. Tell us a little bit about the focus and the goal for what you have going there.
Yes, so one of the major goals that we have right now is to keep protecting, you know, the tropical rainforest. Still, there are many areas that are for sale that are, unprotected, and that is what we're trying to do, to protect the habitats of really endangered species that keeps disappearing in our planet. You know, it's crucial, and I think it's, you know, to save the rainforest would be one of the best solutions against climate change.
Jim, thank you so much for having us as a part of your research on this trip.
You're amazing.
We're gonna release this beetle back out into the wild tonight, so we'll show you guys some of those shots. But Jim, this has been fantastic.
All right, can I challenge you something? You challenge me, I challenge you.
Oh, you're gonna give me a challenge?
Of course.
What's the challenge?
To put that animal in your face.
On my face, wow, okay, well.
Yeah, it's...
I'm not one to turn down a challenge.
Things, so you should try that.
Okay, I have a feeling that everybody out there
Okay.
watching is like, yeah, Coyote, let's see what happens when you place that on your face. Man, I'm kind of actually worried a little bit about my eyeballs, but okay, here we go.
All right.
I'll put it on,
You
the,
must try
on the
that.
side of my head.
Okay.
I'm closing my eye though for this one. All right, ready, here we go.
Okay,
One,
one,
two,
two,
three.
three. Oh no, the nails. You can see how much strong it is.
Oh, it's in my ear.
Oh no.
Oh, wow, they're really, really sharp. Okay, I think we can get the beetle off now.
Okay.
Protect my eyes.
Oh, no.
Well, there you have it, guys. The ultimate bug amphitheater.
During my time spent working alongside Jim, I garnered a new understanding for the importance of insects. To put it simply, without these alien-looking creatures, many of us consider creepy, there would be no us. Insects are pollinators, and without them, the plants from which we rely so heavily as a food source for survival would disappear. And if the plants vanish, it's just a few measly years before the human species as we know it ceases to exist. It's a harrowing reality whether you want to believe it or not. And the only way to slow, or maybe even stop it, begins with preserving the rainforest. The Biosphere Foundation aims to do just that, but they need your help. As a nonprofit, they promote rainforest conservation, scientific research, and environmental education. The future of our rainforests relies upon the unity of our efforts. And if you would like to get involved, learn more, or even make a donation, please make sure to check out their site and follow them on social media for weekly updates.
I got it! It's a big turtle!
Every time I leap from a kayak and find myself submerged beneath the swampy surface, I am absolutely terrified. Not because I'm afraid of the giant reptilian predator that I've likely grabbed a hold of. No. Snapping turtles don't scare me at all. What scares me is the alien-looking creature that may be hiding in the tangles of pond plants that is infamously known as the toe biter.
You guys know what that is, right? That's my old arch nemesis, the toe biter.
Scientifically, they are known as the giant water bug, a nightmarish creature that we have briefly featured in the past, one of the animals that I have continuously expressed an honest fear of.
Nobody in their right mind would do this. I get bitten by an alligator any day as compared to being stung by this thing.
With their alien-like appearance, grappling hook-like arms, and massive rostrum that can inflict an incredibly painful bite, trust me when I say, this is not something you want to bump into when mucking around in the swamps. Yet leave it up to the Coyote Pack to request over and over again that I show the world just how painful that bite really is, and in turn, how to treat that bite if you are ever so unfortunate to take one. These water-dwelling insects can be found worldwide, and with just my luck, they happen to be very common in Costa Rica. So the crew and I headed out into the darkness of night when they are actively hunting to see if we could find one. A big one that, sure enough, would certainly give me a bite to remember.
All right, I am looking for a giant water bug, also known as a toe biter, and I'm pretty sure I saw one right on the other side of that log. So right on the other side of those plants there. What I'm gonna try to do is actually go out on this log. You see this fallen log? That should get me right into perfect position. I don't want to disturb the environment. I'm gonna use this net to try to scoop it up. Wow, it's big. Hold on, I'm coming right towards you. Woo! Hold on. I'm losing my balance. There it is. Ooh, it's getting out of the net. Get in there, get in there, get in there. That is a monster water bug. Look at the size of that thing. My goodness. Hold on, let me get it out of the net. You guys got lights? Lights?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that creature. An alien from another planet. My hand is shaking. This giant water bug, also known as the toe biter. I'm not doing the scene in the dark, guys. We're waiting until tomorrow morning. And yes, I'm going to let my big toe be bitten by the toe biter. Oh, look at that. My goodness, it's a beast. They can fly, they can swim, and their bite is one of the most painful in the insect kingdom. Not a sting, guys, it is a bite. All right, I'm putting it in the container. You ready? Just keep the lid on it. Trust me, you don't want this one getting into your boot.
Warning, the bite from a giant water bug is non-lethal. However, it is excruciatingly painful. Never attempt to recreate the following scene.
There it is.
the little shop of horrors itself. The giant water bug. Also known as a toe bite. Now let me tell you guys a little story about when Coyote Peterson was 8 years old. I was out in the swamps searching for snapping turtles, wearing nothing other than shorts and a t-shirt. Wading through, hoping to come across a giant reptile, when all of a sudden I felt a piercing pain in my thigh. I immediately screamed, reached my hand up my shorts, and what do I pull out? A giant water bug. I had never seen one of these creatures before. I immediately started crying, not only from the pain, but because I was absolutely terrified at the sight of this thing. I hobbled myself back to shore, got myself home, told my mom what happened, and we looked it up in a field guide. She called the doctor, and lo and behold, they assured me I would be okay. It is not going to kill you. All I needed to do was put ice on the bite and relax for about an hour and a half, and finally the pain ended up going away. And ever since that day, this is the one insect that I've truly been afraid of. Now, before we get to the bite, let's take a look at this insect's anatomy. Now, this is a true bug. It may look like a beetle or a cockroach, but it is in fact its own variety. There are around 60 species of water bugs worldwide, and in the United States, there are 20. Now, this one here, the giant water bug, is very common here in Central and South America, and this is about maximum size. The largest they get is around 4 inches in length, and I would say that one is about 3.5 inches, an absolute monster. Now, it's interesting, you can see it kind of skittering around inside the container here as soon as I move it, but you see that position that it's putting itself in, where it's sticking its rear up through the water? Look at that little snorkel-looking device there. That is actually how it's breathing. They breathe from their back ends.
It breathes out its butt.
Yeah, it's like a little butt snorkel, right? So it's keeping itself positioned like that, and this is also the same position in which they hunt. I'll tell you what's most intimidating about this creature are those front arms. Let me turn it just a little bit like that. Now, like all insects, they have 6 legs, and these front 2 are modified with those hooks on the front. They use those to latch onto and grapple in their food.
Oh, am I seeing the snorkel go in and out?
Yep, the snorkel does. It goes in and out. You can see it's kind of thrust its abdomen up into the air there. That's allowing it to breathe so it can just float like a dead leaf, just like that, all day long, waiting for, let's say, tadpoles need to come to the surface to breathe. Frogs need to come to the surface. A fish could just swim by, and if it swims right up towards that face, what they will do is reach out with those forearms, and they have 2 hooks right on end. They'll grapple on and pull it towards their face. Right on the face there is what's called a rostrum, which is like a little hooked beak. Now, it is inside of a sheath, so as soon as they catch something, it comes out of that sheath and it injects an incredibly potent saliva. Now, the enzymes in that saliva will actually paralyze the victim, and then kind of they're stuck in place. So imagine that you're a tadpole, and then as that saliva works its way into the system, it actually breaks apart the victim's insides, and then they drink it up just like a milkshake. How horrific is that?
Is that what it's going to do to your toe?
Well, it's not going to do that to my toe because I'm not going to let it hold on that long, but what it is going to do is latch on and then whoosh, whap me with that rostrum, and just a little bit of that saliva getting into my system is going to be unbelievably painful. This will probably be worse than any of the insect stings I've taken. Remember, guys, this is not a sting, this is a bite. Very different.
So is it venom?
It's not technically venom, but it works like venom in that the enzymes and peptides in the saliva are modified and break down the insides of the victim. And maybe ask yourself, well, something like this, does it have any predators? Well, certainly a bird could eat it, a large snapping turtle could eat it, but they are incredibly camouflaged. Let me turn it like this. Take a look at its back there. It looks just like a leaf. Here, I will just pick this leaf up off the ground, hold that next to the container. Now, if you were mucking around in a little pond like we have here behind us where we caught it, and you just saw it sitting there, just like that, completely still floating, you would have no idea that that was an insect and not a leaf. Pretty incredible, huh? Another name for this insect is the electric light bug. That's because in places, especially like Florida, where you have those large halogen lamps, they will be drawn in by the hundreds. And oftentimes people just think that they're flying roaches. If you go near one and you pick it up, you stand the chance of being bitten. So if you see a bunch of bugs fluttering around a light and they're about the size of a leaf, just admire them from a safe distance, guys, because it's a bite that you're never going to forget.
So to be clear, not just in the water, these things fly.
Yes,
Not just terrors beneath the surface, but also terrors in the air.
Didn't we find one in the parking lot once in Florida?
We did, yeah. It was actually inside of my boot, believe it or not. Yeah, I think I actually took a photo of it and posted it on Instagram. Yeah, now what's interesting is that this is a male. You know how I know that? The males carry eggs on their backs, and I can see that this one has a few eggs still hanging onto it. Now, this is one of those rare species that you have the male taking care of the young, making sure that they are protected until they can form into larvae and then swim off on their own.
They're quite strong, right? They're like little Popeye arms.
They are super strong. Actually, you want me to take it out of the little container here so you guys can get some better shots. I'm gonna gently reach right down in there and pick it up. You ready?
Ooh, delicate little maneuver here.
I'm gonna set it down on the table and pick it up right from his back. Eee! See how they scurry like that? Oh, it's unbelievably powerful. Let me turn it like that for you. Look at the underside. Actually, you know what? Let me grab that leaf again, because now we can see it better that it's out of the water. Ooh, it's so strong. So look at the underside as compared to a leaf. Underside of the leaf, underside of the water bug. Almost identical, right?
Really hard to spot in the water.
Yeah. And look at the eyes. Let me tilt it forward a little bit. They actually have really good eyesight. And those eyes reflect red if you shine a flashlight into the water. That's how you can identify one of these insects. Oh, it's trying to get me. It's so angry right now. And you can see on the back here, it has a joint that allows it to move its head forward and backward. That's how they can drive that rostrum into their prey.
You know, they do say there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. Where does this fall?
This falls into the complete realm of insanity, I would say. I still remember the day that I was bitten by one. I mean, it's incredibly painful. I mean, you guys are gonna see me in unbelievable agony here relatively soon. I've climbed the insect sting pain index, and when it comes to facing my fears of the two creepiest crawlies in the bug world, bugs as a generalization, the giant water bug and the giant desert centipede are the two things that just absolutely make my skin crawl.
So in a way, this is not only going to be educational and enlightening for all of us watching, but for yourself. This is a way to move past any of those fears left over from your childhood.
Yeah, this is, for me, a true moment of insane bravery. Insane bravery.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, my poor toe.
Give it one more look.
Oh man, this is craziness. Absolute craziness. Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I can go through this.
You could just like accidentally drop it and it could scurry back off in the water.
Yeah, maybe
right
I throw it up in the air and it flies away.
Yeah.
GoPro rolling. Water bug out of the container without being bitten. Got it. Oh, it is so strong.
Good grip.
Good grip, good grip.
Okay. Time to face your fears.
Are we ready?
You're ready.
Okay, here we go. I'm Coyote Peterson. I'm about to be bitten by the toe biter on my big toe. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Ah! Stop! Ah! Get back in the container! Ah! Ah! Oh, this is just as bad as I remembered.
start bleeding.
I hope you guys got that shot.
Got it. I think you got it too, man. Your toe is messed up.
This is worse than a sting. Let me put my foot up here on the table. Oh, sorry guys, I knocked the whole thing of water over. It almost got away.
Here, I got it. It's okay.
Okay, look at my toe. Now the rostrum went deep enough in, right at the tip there, to draw blood. And I also was just squeezing it as much as I could, trying to get the saliva out. And there wasn't a lot of saliva that went in, but man, did it just scream in pain immediately. Oh, my foot is throbbing. This is like dropping a brick on your toe. I can't move my toe. Wow. Oh gosh, that really hurts. That's really bad. That's really bad. Ow.
It still hurt?
Oh man, it walloped me. I could feel that rostrum go whoosh into my toe, deep enough to draw blood.
Wow.
A lot thicker and engage than like the stinger of a bull ant or wasp. Man. Oh, hold on, let me walk around for a second. Oh man, my toe's throbbing. Oh, jeez, man. Man, it still hurts, but not as much as the initial impact.
Do you think you got a full bite?
Yeah, I mean, it went in deep enough to pierce skin. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to stay composed here. Oh, my foot is throbbing. Oh man, my foot is starting to itch. That is definitely one way to face your fears. And the giant water bug has terrified my dreams since I was a little kid. I spent a lot of time out in the swamps catching snapping turtles, and every time I jump in, I wonder, is this the next time that I'm gonna be bitten by the toe biter? Man, that was just as bad as I remembered. I'm sweating bullets right now. My foot is throbbing. I think we're gonna need to perform a little first aid on my toe. I gotta make sure this is cleaned out. Obviously, I got mud stuff all over myself at this point, but if you guys come across a giant water bug in the wild, don't try to pick it up. The bite is bad. If you're bitten on your toe, maybe the bite is worse than anywhere else. I don't know. It is extremely painful. It is really bad. It is worse than any sting I think that I've taken.
It's a different kind of pain?
It's a different kind of pain. Yeah, it's like, man, I don't think a lot of the saliva got into my toe, but it is throbbing right now. It just feels like I want to take a rubber band and cut off the circulation of my toe so I stop feeling it. Okay, I'm gonna try to give you an outro here. All right, guys, well, part one of facing my fears, being bitten by the giant water bug, also known as the toe biter, has officially happened. Next up, I'm going to be bitten by the giant desert centipede, which is rumored to have the most painful bite in the creepy crawler kingdom. I don't know how I'm gonna possibly go through with what that is, but stay tuned, guys. There is one bite left to come. Oh man, this is really bad.
Don't worry, I've got that first aid kit.
Since childhood, I have feared the giant water bug and its infamous bite. And I know you were wondering, was it truly as bad as I remembered? Yes. Yes, it was. And there's absolutely no chance I will ever be intentionally bitten by one of these alien-looking insects ever again. When it comes to bites and stings, it's important to note that there is a very big difference between the two. And oftentimes it is the bites, especially the venomous ones, that hurt the worst. In the case of the giant water bug, not only is the puncture from the rostrum powerful enough to draw blood, but the digestive enzymes that also enter the wound literally feel as if they are melting your cells. If you're an avid wetlands explorer, And want to avoid being bitten by a giant water bug, simply remember this advice. Always wear long, durable pants when wading in the water. And whatever you do, make sure that a good pair of boots protects your feet. This way your toes will never experience the painful bite of a toe biter. The vast open wilderness of South Africa is home to some of the world's most iconic animals. From small hoofstock like the speedy impala, to giant grazers like the meandering elephant. Then there are the long-necked giraffes, and who could forget about the herding rhinos? These creatures are constantly doing two things on a daily basis. The first is eating, and the second, which you probably have already guessed, is pooping. But where does all this poop go? There are no toilets on the savannah to flush it down, so what happens after Dumbo drops a dump truck load of digested plants? Today we aim to answer that question by exploring the wilds of Tainskloof. Managed by the Reserve Protection Agency, this 13-hectare sanctuary just so happens to be within the range of one very unique insect that has an affinity for stinky animal byproducts.
Eddie, what you doing there?
You guys see what I'm standing in?
Yeah, it looks like feces.
This is a giant pile of poop. I'm gonna just go ahead and,
Oh, he's touching it.
you know, when in South Africa, you just roll with it. And literally today, we're gonna be looking for the thing that rolls pieces of poop, turd rollers themselves. Now, I'm guessing that this is hoofstock droppings, likely impala and kudu. And that right there, is one rock solid little turd. Now, I'm not looking for kudu or impala. I'm actually looking for the insect, one stinky little insect that loves to roll around in turds. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I want to know.
Stay tuned. I have a feeling that if we head up this direction, we're gonna find plenty of them.
Following a trail of turds through the environment is not something you would typically choose to do while out on a leisurely hike. Yet if you are aiming to have an encounter with the dung beetle, this is one of the most reliable ways to track them down. We skipped from scat pile to scat pile, examining the freshest of feces with the relentless hope of happening upon some of these poop-loving professionals.
Oh man, here's another fresh pile of nuggets. Look at this. Likely impala, it's so fresh that you can still see urine where the animal also peed. These are some serious squishers right here. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Zoom in on that. You see how green that is? That is all undigestible plant matter that the animal passes through its system and then squirts out as these delicious little nuggets. Not delicious for me. No, guys, I am not going to eat a turd, but the insect we are looking for today loves eating poop. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this on Mario. There we go, buddy. And we're gonna keep walking.
The South African air was filled with fresh steamers, and that meant that those dirty little dung beetles would be hot on the turd trail. I could feel it in each and every step. Ugh, gross. And being downwind, I could smell that we were headed in the right direction. When sure enough, we rounded a corner and nearly stepped into one big steaming pile of...
Oh, beetles right here. Look at this. Oh, and look at the size of that ball. Oh man, this is great.
Is that their ball?
That is their ball right there, right in the middle of those other turds. And we've got two dung beetles right here in front of us. Wow, well, we've been searching for a while. It's pretty dry, but these guys have already made themselves a compacted ball. Now, look at that. He's inspecting the environment, finding his line of sight, and there you go. Off to the races. He's gonna continue to push this giant ball of compacted turds. Now, I don't want to interrupt this beetle because he's at work, but this one here is likely either a female or a stealer, and I'll get into that in a second. But what I want to do is actually pick this beetle up. Come here, buddy. Wow, look at that. Its exoskeleton is incredibly rigid, and its feet are very strong. Now, I don't know if they bite. I guess we'll find out here in a second. Let me see. Do you bite? No, doesn't bite. That's good news for me. Can you see it okay?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, it's hard to hold on to because they're so strong. I'm just gonna let it walk around in my hands here. Now, there are over 6,000 dung beetle species worldwide, and the only continent that you will not find this insect is in Antarctica. This is the Addo dung beetle, which is indigenous to only this area here in South Africa. When we're talking about dung beetle species, there are several different types. This one specifically is what we would consider a roller. So a roller actually rolls turds around from one spot to the next. Then you also have the dwellers. Dwellers literally stay in one spot and live in a pile of turds. You also have the burrowers, which will roll a ball of poop somewhere and actually build a burrow underneath it. And then you have the stealers, which will steal turds from other dung beetles. I'm pretty sure that this one is both a roller and a stealer because I caught this guy trying to steal the turd that's actually rolling underneath your feet right now, Mark.
I thought I smelled something.
Causing a little traffic jam there, buddy.
I was like, I got a whiff of something. I was like, where did the ball go? Oh, it's right by my shoe.
And you know what? That beetle will not stop for you, Mark. He is on a determined mission to get that ball of poop back to its burrow. Now, when it comes to dung beetles, they're actually very specific as to what kind of turds they will eat. They primarily feast on herbivore and omnivore turds, but this species specifically, I'm guessing feeds on kudu and impala turds, but I know for a fact that they also feast on elephant dung. Now, there are no elephants in this area, so like I said, the kudu and the impala turds that we saw earlier are certainly fair opportunity for having a feast.
Hey Mario, is turd the scientific term we want to use?
Turd, poop, dung, feces.
Animal scat. Yes, no matter how you choose to phrase it, I like to call them turds. And these creatures, as gross as it is to say it, love to eat turds. Now, they feast on the turds. They actually will line the inside of their burrows with turds. Their whole world revolves around turds, and they prefer a fresh turd. Right now, it's pretty dry out, so we actually had some trouble finding these beetles, but we found a fresh pile of kudu scat, and sure enough, with it came some dung beetles. Super cool, right?
I got a fun little game.
Yeah.
Everybody at home should watch this video again and count how many times you say the word turd.
You know, I have said the word turd more times today, and more so in this episode than ever before. I've touched turds today. We've got beetles eating turds. We've got beetles rolling turds. It is certainly a turd sandwich of an episode. Turds, 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 turd, 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 turds, 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 or turd, 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 turds, turd, 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 turds, turd, 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 turds, turd, 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 turds. Man, my hands don't smell like anything, which is good. And I keep calling these a stinky little insect, but doesn't smell like anything. Talk to me, buddy. Do you have poop breath? No poop breath on this guy. Now, what's really fascinating about these insects is that while they may seem like simple creatures, they're simply eating poop, they're very much in tune with the environment. They're actually using UV rays from the sun to help them navigate. Now, at night, when there isn't any sun out, scientists believe that they use these stars to navigate the environment as they're aiming to push their turd ball back to their burrow. And this one that we have just here off to our side here that's just continuously pushing its turd down this trail is completely on a straight line. It will do everything it can to stay on course and make sure that that turd ball gets back to its burrow.
Speaking of the turd ball, how about we get back to the turd ball?
Yeah, let's check this out. I'm gonna bring this little beetle back over here. Watch out, Mark. The big turd ball is right here. Now, the beetle will come back and find this. I'm gonna actually pick it up for a second. Look at that. Wow, whoa. It is heavy. Look at that.
Oh, I'm gonna regret this.
That is a compacted ball of herbivore
Ooh,
poop
it's
right
kind of
there.
wet.
It's heavy, right? Well, the more moist the poop is, the better it is for the beetles. Now watch what's gonna happen. As soon as the beetle picks back up the scent of this turd, they have an incredible sense of smell. He's gonna climb back up on top of it, spin around in a circle, regain its line of sight, and then plop back down and use its hind legs to push the turd. Here we go. Just like I said, watch this. Climbs up on top. Here we go. Do your spin. Line of sight is acquired, and boom, off to the races. Now, pound for pound, this is one of the strongest insect species in the world, capable of pushing things almost 1,000 times their own body weight. That's like me weighing 150 pounds, pushing 6 8-ton buses. Isn't that crazy? That is one powerful creature. Now look, it's on this hillside and it's thinking, I'm not gonna get up that. But it will just keep moving along the edge of this ridge until it finds its way back to its burrow.
Well, this is pretty fascinating. Searching amongst the South African terrain for turds that ultimately led us to the one and only dung beetle.
When I think back on all of the strange bugs the Brave Wilderness team and I have encountered, I would definitely have to say that the dung beetle was one of the most entertaining. These little environmental cleanup crews are doing a world of good for the ecosystem, and without them, the world would literally be covered in animal scat, or feces, or poop, or turds, as I like to call them. So on behalf of us all, I would like to say thank you to all the dung beetles out there that are helping keep our planet free of poopies. Keep up the good work, guys. We see you rolling.
We got trouble coming, guys.
So who's this?
Now, it's possible that this is either a female or what we call a stealer. And a stealer will let this beetle do all of the work, and then once it gets close to a burrow, actually steal the turd ball away from it.
Man, it's determined.
Now, where is this ball going? Like, what do we know where it's headed?
You know, I have no clue where the burrow is located. And you can see it's trying to get up this hillside, and it's not making much progress, but you'll notice we moved from this pathway now up to this ridgeline, and it's slowly figuring out that this direction I can move in.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to interfere with the movement at all. I feel like, man, I wanna help you out, buddy. Let me just pick up this turd, walk around and try to find a burrow for you, but you have to let the animal figure it out on its own. Oh, and it lost some ground there.
Hang on a second. Here, Mario, step back for a second. I just want to give people some reference. So that's where we started.
Yeah.
Where your backpack is.
There's my backpack. We came all this distance to this mark, and this little following beetle is up. Here's the turd. Oh, look, the stealer may be coming in to try to get the turd away. And you notice those little antennae up front. Those are chemical receptors that help them.
Thief.
I know, right? Oh, he's made the move at this point. Wow, we've got a switchover right there. That's a perfect example of a stealer coming in and thieving a turd ball away from one beetle that has done an incredible amount of work.
Did this one quit?
No, it didn't quit. What it's using are those little antennae up front. They kind of look like little mittens, and those are chemical receptors which allow them to sense the environment, which help them find the turds. And in this case, find his turd ball, which has been stolen away by this stealer beetle.
Look, it is taking it a different direction.
It is. It is now going this direction up, and look at that. It stumbled over this stick, so now this little guy has got the opportunity to get this turd ball back. You can do it, buddy. This is your chance. Make a break. Oh no! The stealer's back up on top, and watch, it's gonna climb up on top of the turd ball, get its bearings, and there's a good chance, you see, it's moving this direction. It's possible then that this beetle has a burrow that's elsewhere.
Competing for the same ball of poo.
That's right. So my theory that maybe one was a male and one is a female has now been disproven. It is definitely two males, and this one's likely taking this turd ball back to his lady friend in a burrow somewhere. That is, unless this one, who's coming in for the fight, look at that, using those front grappling legs to battle down the beetle. Nope, didn't get it that time.
Man, this is intense. You can almost like do a play-by-play.
You could call play-by-play with this. Maybe we should try that. Should we go into this is the narration live in the field of dung beetles duking it out?
Yeah, let's
for
do this.
a freshly rolled ball of turds.
Okay, we got to name them though.
Okay. I say we name them Hercules and Arnold.
Okay, go for it.
So we're gonna call this one Hercules and this one Arnold. These beetles are tough, folks. They are strong, and the race is on. Who is going to win the right to this giant ball of herbivore turd? And every time they fall off the ball, they have to regain their line of sight and continue trekking on.
Now, what happened to Arnold? He looks tuckered out.
Arnold may have exhausted himself because Hercules has regained the turd ball and is continuing to head in that direction. Yet here comes Arnold back into the race, thinking, oh, where are you going? Arnold, wrong direction. The turd's in the other direction. It's possible that he may have given up. There does come a point when a beetle exhausts itself and says, okay, I'm not going to be able to take this turd ball away from my competitor, and I'm just gonna call it a day and maybe make my own turd ball at that point. But as you can see, Hercules over here has got a long trek up this hillside, and he's not gonna make it with all these acacia spikes. There's no way he's getting through that.
How do you know?
Because
you can do it. You can do it.
I'm rooting for Arnold.
I'm rooting for Arnold. Arnold was the original. That's right, Hercules has taken over at this point.
Ooh, Hercules.
Arnold, come on, turn around, buddy.
Not looking good.
He's doing it. He's turning around. I think he got the scent.
You're back in the race, buddy. You can do it.
You heard Hercules is having some troubles.
Oh man, look at that. He's ready to go.
He sees his opportunity. Well, Hercules is clearly struggling by that stick. Now, I wonder what would happen if
I'm gonna remove this stick and see how it changes the game. All right, and they're off. Oh, it's a double rollover. Hercules back up on top of the turd ball, checking his line of sight. Arnold is down on his back, and Hercules has regained position, but he's going a different direction than he was before. What is the thinking behind this beetle strategy? Arnold getting back in the game, and he is making his move for it. Sees the Hercules is struggling and is thinking to himself, this could be my chance. I need that ball of turd so I can take it back to my burrow and impress my lady friend. Nothing says impressive like a giant ball of poop. Come on, Hercules, you got this one, buddy. Whoa!
Anyone's game now.
It's Uncle
Anyone's
Risky.
game.
Uncle
Look at this.
Risky.
Oh,
Arnold is about to make his move.
Look at that.
They're gonna duke it out.
Arnold's got the inside track. Oh, but
Nope,
he lost
here
it in the
comes
weeds.
Hercules. Arnold made the move over the top. Oh man, Hercules is off the trail. Here comes Arnold. He's gonna get the turd ball.
go, go, go.
Arnold is about to make his move. You can see him looking for it.
It's literally right there.
It's right there, dude. Look at Hercules. Hercules is just like, he's completely lost at this point.
Oh, he's coming back.
Uh-oh.
It's like, where is that ball of poop?
Arnold.
Arnold, you better
Yeah,
hurry,
all
buddy.
right.
Here comes Hercules. Oh, Hercules has got his sight on it. Here he goes. You got it. Oh, so close. Hercules is about to take control. Oh, and Hercules has reclaimed the giant ball of poop. Well, I would say we clearly have a winner, folks. Hercules is the dominant beetle in this situation and has reclaimed his throne as king of the turd ball.
We recognize the scream of their attacking buzz. We squirm at the thought of their blood-sucking bite. There are more than 3,000 mosquito species worldwide, and every year, more than 1 million people die from mosquito-borne disease. What are the odds you will be next? Getting bitten by a single mosquito is a discomfort we are all accustomed to. Getting bitten by hundreds of them at the same time is an experiment best performed under the guidance of experts. Catherine Przinski is a mosquito expert, and in her lab, she has grown a nightmare scenario for us to educate and, of course, entertain you. Now, Catherine, here we are, and there they are. Are these the mosquitoes that are going to be eating me?
They sure are. This is the yellow fever mosquito. It is also known as the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Okay, and you say the yellow fever mosquito. That sounds dangerous, sounds potentially deadly.
These are one of the most deadliest mosquitoes.
Is there any chance that these mosquitoes have yellow fever?
No, these are lab colony mosquitoes. These guys have never been outside.
So you grew these mosquitoes just for me?
Yep, absolutely.
How many would you guess are inside of this container? Because it looks like a lot to me.
We hatched out about 1,000 mosquitoes for you today.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so not necessarily 1,000 chances to be bitten because some could be male, some could be female.
Correct.
The males will not be biting, the females will.
Very true.
And the goal here is for me to be bitten as many times as possible. Now, am I going to just crawl into this unit, you're gonna let them out, and I'm gonna get swarmed?
No, we're gonna take these guys over to the next lab.
All right, well, I'll let you lead the way. Let's grab our box of blood drinkers. Oh, this is gonna get a little crazy. Oh boy, eaten alive by mosquitoes. The moment you guys wanted is about to happen right now. Warning, never attempt the following experiment unless under the supervision of trained professionals. Mosquito bites can transmit harmful diseases that are considered fatal. Here I am, there they are. 1,000 bloodthirsty mosquitoes. Now my arm is going into the box. There's a good chance that hundreds of them are going to be biting my hand, my wrist, and my forearm. Of course, I'm going to take off this leather bracelet because we wouldn't want to protect any of the good blood-flowing spots. And actually, to make this even more interesting, I shaved my entire arm and hand so that we can see the results of all these bites. Without further ado, it's time for Coyote Peterson to be eaten alive by mosquitoes. And they are hungry. They have not eaten in over 48 hours. Hand is going in. I want to make sure. Oh, wow, look at that. They just went straight for my wrist. Oh, it is go time. Oh goodness, man, they are wasting no time going to town on my hand. Ooh, yeah, I can feel a little bit of something there. Now, when it comes to mosquitoes, the process of being bitten is very interesting. Remember, this is a bite and not a sting. Mosquitoes want to do their best when they land on a victim to not be detected. Obviously, the mosquito itself is very lightweight, but the way that the female's proboscis works, which is the front little suction cup straw apparatus, is they land and then they slowly begin to unsheath that proboscis. The proboscis has essentially 6 needles, 2 of which have these little saw-like tips. And I'm definitely feeling something happening at this point. Those 2 outer needles begin to saw through my tissue. The other 2, right to the side of those, spread the tissue apart, and then it's the center needle that begins to probe around looking for a delicious blood cell in which it can suck out the blood. Now, they say you can't feel anything when you're bitten by a mosquito. I definitely feel something going on right now. But for mosquitoes to drink more blood, they use an anticoagulant that they insert into your blood. Oh, my hand's beginning to shake a little bit. So that the blood has better flow and they can get a meal quicker. Oh, actually, the one right in the center of my hand, I can really feel. I turn this way, look at that. All over the top of my hand. There must be close to 150, if not more, mosquitoes currently on me. I start to sweat a little bit, and that's primarily because I really want to swat them off of my hand and my arm. The itching is beginning to give its onset, and that's my body's natural reaction to their saliva going into my skin. It forms histamines, which basically is my body saying, foreign substance, get it out of here, swell up, make a lump, put liquids in that area so that their saliva doesn't get any deeper. And it's really the mosquitoes in between my fingers right now that are the most uncomfortable. Now, when it comes to mosquitoes finding a feast, they are drawn to humans based on a couple of different elements. The heat coming off your body, the chemicals in your skin, and primarily the carbon dioxide that comes out of your breath that draws these bloodsuckers in. So watch this. If I blow hot air into this box, that's gonna further agitate them and say, hey, guys, blood buffet line is open and ready for business. And that blood is actually really important. The females drink the blood because they require it to help in the laying of their eggs. It's becoming rather unbearable at this point. Oh, I think they're getting pretty full. Well, it looks like most of them have decided to land on the back screening. I can see that most of them are off of my arm. What do you guys think? We have enough shots at this point?
Oh yeah.
Great. I love hearing when I can actually take my hand out of the mosquito box and take a look at how bad these bites truly are.
When it comes to mosquito bites, whether a single sampling or an onslaught of proboscis invasions, the results are almost always the same. Itching, swelling, and an uncomfortable annoyance.
The level of agony is best described as the itch you can't scratch. My arm has been out of the box of mosquitoes for about 10 minutes now, and you can clearly see that the welts are beginning to form. I have counted, as we were setting up for the cameras, nearly 250 bites. That's not to say that there aren't bites on top of bites. So I'm just gonna round up a little bit and say I got 300 bites in that matter of time. The top of my arm, the underside of my arm, and in between my fingers is the absolute worst. Now, to combat the unbearable itching that I'm going through right now, we're going to test out Chigrex. This product has been around for more than 50 years. This is the original, specifically designed for chigger and tick bites, but also all other types of bugs and mosquitoes, as you can see from the cool mosquito picture on top of the lid. Now, this is armed with benzocaine, which is the active ingredient. It's also got aloe and chamomile for a soothing effect. Now, I read that there is no oily residue that comes from Chigrex. So what I'm gonna do is gently begin to apply this onto the bites. And let's see, how soothing will it really be from the get-go? Here we go. It's cool to the touch. Ooh, that's actually really, really nice. Okay. Wow, actually, pretty much immediate the second that it begins to work into your skin. Holy cow, yeah, for real. The lack of itching happening here on the front part of my wrist versus here, immediately noticeable. All right, I'm going in for another swab of Chigarax, and I'm just gonna go ahead and coat my entire arm at this point. Now, in most bite scenarios, 1 or 2 bites, you're just gonna use a tiny dab of Chigarax. I'm going over the top because my arm is in so much itching agony right now. That was so rewarding to get Chigarax spread all over the hundreds of bites that are coating my arm. And I would say at this point, Chigarax, with 2 times the power, works immediately. Well, how about that? Everything you needed to know about mosquitoes, why they bite, how they bite, what happens after they bite, and of course, a surefire solution to the uncomfortable itch that comes from these pesky bloodsuckers. Oh man, things I do for science, entertainment. Woo.
Oh, look at this, look at this.
You got something?
Look at that. That's a stag beetle. Mario!
Yeah.
I got a stag beetle.
Okay.
Bring that little bug container up here. We gotta film with this.
Okay, yeah, I'll give him the container.
You got it in your backpack?
Yep.
That's a stag beetle. Some sort of stag beetle. There's many different species. Wow. Trying to climb up here. Just filming B-roll, getting these extra shots. And sure enough, come around the backside of this log and there is an enormous beetle. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick it up. Okay. Come here, buddy. Oh, don't get pinched, don't get pinched. Wow, he's strong. Got it. Whoa. That's crazy.
Wow, yeah, check this out.
You guys can see this, like I was showing you the B-roll shots, this environment's really tough to walk around in, but this is perfect beetle territory with all this decomposing wood.
Here.
Yeah. Put just grab like a piece of moss or something. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, good thing we have this little bug carrier with us. Here you go, buddy. Oh, he's pinching onto it. Nice.
You got it?
Yeah, stag beetle.
Nice.
We'll bring it down and let's get a little scene with it.
All right, I'm gonna put it in my backpack.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wow, I consider it a big one, right?
That's big. Great job, dude.
All right, down we go. Whoa. Yes, stag beetle. This is so cool. Definitely a creature that we have not featured on the channel before. All right, let's find a good spot to set up and then we'll get a scene. Oh, check this out, Mark.
Yeah, let me see it.
This thing is super cool. Look at that.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, right?
Check that out. Here, pull it out of the container real quick.
Watch your fingers though, watch your fingers. Here, he's kind of tangled up inside of this. Oh, hold on there, buddy.
Oh, nice.
Look at that, right?
Great stag.
Pretty cool. Whoa. All right, here, let's just get him back into the container. Grab him by the thorax there, Mario.
Put the whole thing?
No, just put him in like that because he's just gonna grip onto that stuff. Sweet, okay, cool. I just want to be on that for coming down the hillside.
Nice,
dude.
Nice climbing, Mario. That was awesome.
I guess filming B-roll pays off, and now we're gonna get another episode. This is great.
All right, cool. All right, let's go over here into the light.
Yeah, better light.
Yep.
Woo! All right, cool. This is a good spot. Much better light. Super dark up there in the forest. And this is the Brave Wilderness Adventure Kit bug container. We brought it out for some product photography and putting it to good use. This was perfect because I didn't want to try to slide down the hill with this beetle in my fingers. I mean, if I drop it, it's gonna disappear into the underbrush. What a cool find. All right, I'm gonna set this down and take the bug out. I put a little leaf in there so he wouldn't bounce around when I was walking.
Yeah, for the reveal.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, he's hanging on. There we go, buddy. Oh yeah, grip onto that leaf. There we go.
Oh man.
Oh, what a big guy.
Whoa, you can really see it now.
Right? All right, now I'm gonna get that leaf off of there. Come on, let go of that leaf. Oh, they are so strong. Look at that, I can just rip that leaf apart.
Man.
And it just shreds up in
Not
the
letting go of
beetles.
that leaf.
There we go. Those little legs are like grappling hooks. So what I'm gonna do is place it on my finger. Maybe it will just stay right there. It's
it's going to hook on, and hopefully we can get this scene. You gonna hold on? Oh, balancing act. Here, get this little leg out. There we go. Now he's happy. Now, the male stag beetles are much larger and much more defined than the females. This is, ow, no pinching. This is without question a male. Now, there are many species of stag beetles, and I said this to the GoPro when I was up there catching it. I'm not sure exactly which species this is. We're gonna have to look it up, but it is without question a stag beetle of some sort. Now, they get that name, ooh, come here. Oh, it's hooking on again. They get that name from those front mandibles. If you zoom in on them there, Mario, you can see that they almost look like the antlers of a deer. They look very intimidating, right? And you may be thinking to yourself, wow, I bet this beetle can give you a pretty powerful pinch. Let's see how bad the pinch of the stag beetle really is. Are you guys ready?
If you're ready. Oh, you're just going right for it.
I'm going right for it, but I'll give you the classic intro. You ready?
All right.
I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the pinch zone with the stag beetle. 1, 2, 3. These pinch sound pretty good there, but not powerful enough to break skin. Now, actually, what will get you more than the pinchers is the little grappling hook-like legs. Go ahead and zoom in there. They have all these tiny hooks that almost look like fish hooks, and when they grapple onto your skin, they dig in. When you try to pull the insect off of you, it just locks in place, and that's actually more painful than the mandible pinch. It appears as if they would use those mandibles to catch and kill their prey, to crush it, to pinch it. But these insects are actually herbivores. They eat nectar and fruits. Now, during the breeding season, they use those stags for not only display, but also to battle against other males for the rights to a breeding territory. The body design of this insect is just so cool. And as you guys know, insects break down into 3 parts: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And if I turn the beetle up like this, look at its head. Almost appears as if it's wearing a helmet. And when you look at those mandibles, you can see why this is such an intimidating little insect. Now look off to the side here. You see these little antennae? It almost appears as if there are fingers just at the tip. Those are little chemical sensory organs that help them investigate their environment. If I also hold the beetle like this and you zoom in real tight, you can see all these goldish hairs running over the course of the exoskeleton. Holding the beetle like this, I actually have to exert quite a bit of power because of how strong this insect is. Now, pound for pound, the stag beetle is one of the most powerful insects on the planet. Now, the exoskeleton is incredibly rigid, really strong, really hard. It's like armor plating. It'd be very tough to squish this beetle. And they are actually capable of flying. Can you see these 2 protective shields over the abdomen? There are actually wings underneath there. Now, because this insect is so heavily bodied, it cannot fly long distances. But if it needs to move from spot to spot quickly, it can do that. Of course, oftentimes to escape something like a predator or to move from territory to territory during breeding season. And you can see it's just investigating my arm right now and using those grappling hook-like appendages to hold on. Now, this time of year, between September and October, you will see these beetles moving about, getting ready for breeding season, but they die shortly after. They actually only have a lifespan of about a year from larva or grub state to adult when they emerge and then breed. There are a number of different beetle species that live here in Japan. In fact, beetles are considered little cultural icons. People collect beetles, people trade beetles. They are highly regarded in Japanese culture as just this cool little insect that only comes out once a year, and people certainly admire them for what they are. Pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah.
Man, what an awesome little bug. All right, well, let's get this guy back up into the underbrush so he can continue his day searching for nectar. All right, it is time for the climb back up the hillside to release the beetle. There he goes. It's a beautiful day for a maggot box. A beautiful day for a maggot. Will they eat meat? Will they eat feet?
It's a maggoty day for a maggot box with 300,000 flesh-eating maggots. Will they eat meat? Will they eat my feet? Ugh, it's time to feed my maggots. Hello, maggots. Oh boy, how have I found myself in this seat yet again? Coyote Peterson in front of a container filled with creatures that very well may eat him alive. Well, I've always been curious as to whether or not maggots eat human flesh, alive or dead. And today, we're going to answer that question. But before we get into the entertainment, and my feet go into this container with 300,000 maggots, first, we need to learn something about these creepy creatures. So we're going to take the science train to the Ohio State University and learn a little something about these creatures. Cheep, cheep. As a graduate of the Ohio State University, I'm returning to campus to learn more about maggots before I serve myself up as a meal. So I'll be chatting with Dr. Julie. She studies bugs and how they survive during the winter, specifically insect diapause, which is a state of suspended animation similar to mammal and reptile hibernation. Maggots are an ideal test subject for her research because, like Jon Snow, they can sense when winter is coming.
Okay, Julie, let's get right down to it. I think we all want to know, what exactly is a maggot?
Yeah, so a maggot is an immature stage of any kind of fly.
So a maggot is a baby fly then?
Yes.
I could see the similarity to human babies, soft and squishy and round and, you know.
Yeah, except they have an exoskeleton.
Really, there's an exoskeleton on the maggot?
On the maggot, yeah.
Going from larva to pupa, maggots obviously need to fuel up. What would you say maggots primarily feast on?
Maggots like to eat rotting stuff, like dead carcasses or roadkill in the woods.
If given the option, will they eat human flesh?
So that's kind of a tricky question to answer. A lot of them will only eat dead stuff, but there are some that will burrow into human flesh if given the chance.
So maggots will technically eat humans if given the chance. Some species.
Some species.
Some
yes.
species.
How fascinating was that? Now that we've set up the science, it's time to perform an experiment of our own. Perhaps you noticed the beautiful meat socks that I was sporting earlier on. That's right, these are sirloin wrapped in bacon. And if you're envious of these incredible socks, don't worry. They're for sale right now at shopbravewilderness.com because we figured, who doesn't want meat socks for the holidays? Now those socks aren't necessarily going to attract the attention of maggots. So what we've constructed today is a real meat sock. If you would. Thank you, sir. Oh, take a look at that. It's chicken skin sewed together with bacon. Now we're gonna stick one of my feet with nothing on it, live human flesh, down and into the maggots. On my other foot will be the meat sock. Will the maggots be able to tell the difference between a living human foot and a living human foot covered in dead meat?
Now, have you ever heard of meat socks?
I have not heard of meat socks.
You've
Tell me
not
more.
heard of meat socks. This is specimen number 001. Take a look at this here.
Wow, that's some pretty fancy sewing.
Yeah, what do you have to say about that?
That's impressive. I've never seen anybody make socks out of bacon before.
Now this is the meat sock that we have composed that my foot will go inside of to see if the maggots will not only eat the dead rotting skin,
Yeah.
but go through the skin and, thank you for that, into my feet. Have you ever thought about crafting a pair of meat socks so that you can become a human experiment for your maggots?
I have not.
We could help
Yeah.
you come up with this design and advance it further.
Sure, my maggots really like to eat liver,
Okay.
so maybe some liver socks.
Perhaps the sole of a sock, and we could go sort of more of a shoe.
Yeah.
We've got a liver sole and a chicken skin outer. And what we really love about our design specifically is the bacon brim.
The bacon brim is a nice touch.
My foot is going into the meat sock. Oh, that is very slimy. And my foot is in. Oh! My foot is encased in chicken skin and bacon. Okay, here we go. Just do it, Coyote. Just go for it. wow, they're really warm, generating a lot of heat. Oh, that is really weird feeling. It feels like warm rice. All right, so I'm working my foot down and into the maggots. Oh, that is a really, really, really weird feeling. Now it's time to add in the delectable meat sock. Oh, that is weird. I can feel them all moving around the edges of the sock. All right, I'm gonna slowly massage the meat sock down and into the maggots. Oh, they are very, very dense and very, very squiggly. Now the clock begins. My feet are completely submerged, and now it's time to sit back and find out whether or not maggots will feast on human flesh.
The life cycle of a fly breaks down into 4 distinct phases. First, a female lays a batch of eggs in some type of decaying organic matter. The process is quick, as these eggs will hatch in less than 24 hours. This is the second stage, known as larva or maggot. These hungry baby flies gorge themselves in order to grow and eventually molt into their next stage, pupa. During this stage, they develop a cocoon-like shell that looks like a mouse turd, where they go dormant and do not move or eat. Inside the cocoon, they metamorphosize, growing wings, antennae, and legs. And just like Jeff Goldblum in the mid-'80s, they hatch out as a fully grown fly, and the cycle repeats itself.
My feet have been in here for about 30 minutes, and I can feel that the maggots are beginning to work their way into the meat sock. So there are now maggots in between the chicken skin and the human skin. And I don't know where things are gonna go from there, but I'm a little nervous about this foot at this point. The thing that doesn't translate is the smell. This smell of these maggots, which just smells like rotting flesh, is just maybe completely grossed out at this point.
If you examine a single maggot under a microscope, you will see that they lack any weaponry for harvesting flesh. No teeth, beaks, Freddy Krueger hands, or venom-laced proboscis.
Whoa, 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 something might be happening with the meat sock foot. I am experiencing some sort of pain on the inner curve of my foot.
Instead, maggots have creepy mouth hooks that allow them to grapple and pull their rough-skinned bodies, scraping like a cheese grater over dead flesh as they squirm through a carcass.
I might be getting bitten. It's tough to tell, but it definitely feels like a pinching sensation.
During this process, they also secrete enzymes called peptidases that liquefy flesh proteins. And when you have thousands of maggots doing this all at once, it makes for a deliciously disgusting corpse stew that can easily be slurped down. No teeth needed for this meaty feast.
I'm just afraid that once I take the meat sock off, I'm gonna see like a maggot has burrowed. They can't like burrow into my foot, can they? Could that happen, Mario?
It's something that everyone's gonna find out at the end of this episode.
It has been several hours with my feet submerged into the box of 300,000 maggots. We are going to pull my feet up and out of the box to analyze what they look like. Now, the first foot we're gonna pull out is my left foot. Remember, this one had no meat sock on it. Wow, my foot's like completely asleep because it hasn't moved in so long. So I'm gonna bring it up very, very slowly. It's so warm. Oh, that feels so weird. Look at all the maggots that have collected in between my toes. It does not appear as if this foot has taken any impactful nibbles or bites. Now, we're gonna take out the foot with the meat sock. Now, it's important to note that I've taken a couple of nibbles on this foot, and the maggots have definitely gone to town on at least eating the bacon. So let's see if any of the rest of the meat sock has any holes burrowed into it. Here we go. Look at that. The maggots
have worked their way into the seams and all into the bacon. The sock itself is pretty filled with maggots. Should we take off the sock? Okay. Ugh. Look at all the maggots pouring out of it. Oh. All right, so now what I want to do is analyze where I think I was bitten. Okay, right here, there is a very, very hard to see. Looks like a little red dot there. Some sort of nibble. Nothing though that has actually burrowed into my foot. Wow, look at that. The maggots have completely engulfed the meat sock that quickly. Hold on, don't get too lost in there yet. Look at that, they completely sucked it down into there. Let's watch that again. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep filming this. So what you're witnessing here are the maggots quickly engulfing the meat sock. It's exactly what they would do in nature, whether with decomposing animal or plant matter. They essentially envelop it and slowly begin to feast. Okay, my feet were inside the box of maggots for several hours, and as you can see, they're both still fully intact, which I think helps us answer today's question. Do maggots eat living human flesh? And the answer to that is absolutely not. And while it's fair to note that I was nibbled on a couple of times, those nibbles did not break skin and certainly did not draw blood. In my opinion, maggots get a bad rap. I mean, they're creepy, they're squirmy, and they're always associated with death. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Remember, these are natural decomposers. They're cleaning up the environment by breaking down plant and animal matter. So what we learned today is they're not going to eat you if you stumble upon them. And the next time you see a big swarm of them consuming an animal carcass, remember, they're simply doing their job. What's going on, Coyote Pack? It's a beautiful summer evening here in Columbus, Ohio. The sun just set and the conditions are absolutely perfect for lightning bugs. Now what we're going to do tonight is teach you how to build a lightning bug lantern. And in order to do that, first we need to find and catch some bugs. So if you guys are ready, let's get the adventure started. Catching lightning bugs is all about patience. You see one flash, and then you lose it. And then you see a flash over there, and you lose it again. Now the tactic I like to use is to follow the flash a couple times and then turn on my flashlight really quickly and swipe it up with the net. Take some patience, take some practice, take some precision. I missed him.
That wasn't very agile.
No,
or graceful.
These are some advanced lightning bugs for sure. There are over 2,000 species of fireflies throughout our planet. Now, they live on every continent except for Antarctica. And in North America specifically, there are 150 different species of lightning bugs. Tonight, we are after the eastern lightning bug, arguably the most common species that you have here in the United States. Got him. Our little catch container's beginning to light up. It's really all about having great aim and hand-eye coordination once you see the lightning bugs. Now, I thought I'd be able to use the flashlight to light up the bugs once I saw them. That actually scares them away and they become even harder to catch. That catch container's got a lot of action going on in it. Got another one right in front of us. Here we go. Okay, I've got about 10 in the net. Couldn't tell you how many inside the capture jar. I think it's time to build the lightning bug lantern. And we're back. Now, before we get into building our lightning bug lantern, first, let's talk a little bit about lightning bugs. Or are they fireflies? That's a great question. Now, both terms technically are completely fine. However, these insects are not flies, but in fact are true beetles. Now, there are hundreds of thousands of beetle species worldwide, and tonight we have caught the eastern lightning bug. This is without question the most common species you're going to find in your backyard if you live in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, or the Carolinas. This is the insect that you are going out seeing lighting up the night sky. Now, these bugs are rather unique, and I would wager to say that the lightning bug has no humans that are actually afraid of it. humans seem to love lightning bugs. And I say the reason for that is that they are completely friendly. They have no stinger and no biting mouth parts. So if something can't bite you and it can't sting you, why would you be afraid of it? It's a completely safe species to interact with. Now, the lightning bug has a very interesting life cycle. Like most beetles, when the male and female breed, the female then goes down to the ground and lays her eggs. Those eggs then hatch into larvae. The larva buries down into the soil and will spend up to 2 years feasting off different little microorganisms that it comes across. After they go through the larva stage, they go through metamorphosis and then hatch into more lightning bugs. And what's crazy is that when the males and females come up out of the ground between the months of June and September to start their breeding dance, they only live for between 5 and 30 days. Can you imagine that? A life cycle that lasts for nearly 2 years underground and only a month above ground. And what's unique about their breeding cycle is that it's one of the most celebrated insect gatherings in the world. In fact, there are some locations where people will actually gather together to see the spectacle that is lightning bugs lighting up the night sky. Now let's answer what's likely your most pressing question. How do lightning bugs glow? It's something called bioluminescence. Bioluminescence has a rather lengthy scientific definition. I could give you that entire definition and it would go on and on and on and be long-winded, but for the sake of this video, we're going to give you the short definition. Bioluminescence is a chemical reaction that happens within an organism's body that causes light. The reason it causes light is that these insects have a molecule inside of them known as luciferin. That luciferin, when it mixes with oxygen, has a reaction that causes light, hence the fact that they light up the night sky. Now, like all insects, lightning bugs have 3 basic body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. You can see a little yellow pocket. That is where the luciferin is stored. Now, when the lightning bug isn't glowing, it just looks as if it's a pale yellow. When the lightning bug lights up, that's exactly where the glow is coming from. And when it comes to lightning bugs, the abdomen is actually referred to as the lantern, which will perfectly transition us into the next part of tonight's video, how to build your lightning bug lantern. First thing in is the grass. Nice fresh grass, good and green. Doing this outdoors is usually advisable because some of the lightning bugs will probably get away in the process, and if some of them escape, don't worry, they're just gonna head right back off into the environment. Next, I'm going to drop in a few leaves. Remember, these leaves provide the opportunity for the lightning bugs to hide and take shelter, especially during the day. These insects love to stay hidden and out of sight. Now, the last little piece you need from nature is a couple of twigs. I pick twigs that have a bunch of different little branches on them so that the lightning bugs feel as if they have a jungle gym. That gives them something to climb around on and to perch on. It's a little easier to get purchase on a twig than it is the side of a plastic or a glass container. Okay, this is it. Time to add our lightning bugs. This process is a little difficult, and remember, you want to be gentle with your lightning bugs. Now, they are going to crawl around inside your plastic catch container, so what I recommend is just gently tapping on the surface to get them to drop down into the basin. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is slowly begin to transfer some of my lightning bugs, if I can, one at a time. Oh boy, they're really wanting to crawl out in a hurry. If you can get them to come out and onto the edge of the container like this, you can almost funnel and gently feed them down and into your lantern. There we go, there's one there, in you go. Everybody in. Oh, that one's getting away. Jimmy, no. I named that one Jimmy. Oh, losing one there. That's okay, and remember, if some escape in the process, that's completely, oh no, I'm spilling them. Oh, they're getting away, this isn't good. Oh, they're getting away. In you go, in you go. That's why we catch as many as possible. I wasn't able to count every single one that I got, but I would say I was close to 35 or 40. Oh, Billy, get in there. Get in there, Billy. That's one of the real challenges. Can you actually name all of your lightning bugs that you catch? Susie, get in there. Tammy. Deborah. Oh, I missed. In you go, in you go. There we go. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. I would say I got 95% of my lightning bugs into the actual lantern. Look at that. Our jar looks fantastic. Grass, leaves, twigs, and lightning bugs. Now, the very last thing that you want to use is your little piece of bendable wire. This is how you actually complete the lantern. by making a little handle. Check this out. So I'm gonna put a little twist in it there. This piece comes around the side and tucks in like this. Here we go, twist that around like that. Good and secure. Get this on this side. Now, if you're working with wire, it may not be a bad idea to have your parents help you a little bit. You don't wanna prick yourself on the end of that. There we go. The handle is nice and secure. And there you have it, your very own summer lightning bug lantern. Now, it is important to note that this is not a species that you want to keep forever. Remember, they have a very short life cycle. What I recommend is going out just before sunset to catch your lightning bugs. Build your container outside, get it set up just like this, take it inside, place it next to your bed before you tuck in, and you're gonna have the perfect lightning bug nightlight. Wake up in the morning, take them with you to breakfast, admire them during the afternoon, then head back out to the exact same location towards sunset and release them back into the wild so they can continue on with their breeding. Now, if you guys get the chance to head out this summer and build your very own lightning bug lantern, make sure to tag me on social media at Coyote Peterson, and I'll do my best to like and watch all of the videos and maybe even some comments on the success that you guys have with catching lightning bugs.
Do you guys want to see something really scary?
No.
Yes, you do. Come on, let's go down to the river.
I don't know if this is such a good idea.
Oh, I'm about to show you guys the scariest thing you have ever seen. I've been thinking about this all day. I found one earlier, but at night, it'd be a whole lot better.
So where are you really taking us?
To the river.
What?
You know, rivers at night can be really pretty scary. So what we're gonna do is go all the way through the deep, dark woods and down to the river.
Let's find some creatures.
Ooh,
What do you see?
eyeballs.
Where?
You see that way out there?
Where? Those are eyes. Let me see if I can see that on camera.
What is that? Mario, what is that?
Oh, I can see him on camera.
Mario,
What?
wildlife biologist, identify.
Those are eyes, guys.
Well, most logical thing is a deer, but we are in Bigfoot territory.
It could be a Sasquatch. Come on, let's go that way.
We're being watched, guys. We're being watched.
Mario.
We're being
I
watched.
can see the eyes. Oh man, there's like a creepy old shed out here.
Yep. You don't want to go in the shed. I think we've seen too many horror movies to know how these all begin. It kind of feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, an old rusty shed.
An old shed in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia. This never ends well for the people that go out with cameras and flashlights, does it? Yeah. See all this moisture in the grass? This means that they're going to be out and about tonight.
They?
It's a really good sign, yes.
So there's more than one?
There will definitely be more than one. But all it's going to take is one to find out how bad the bite is.
What was that?
Did you hear that? No, not your foot. It sounded like rocks knocking together.
What does that mean?
That's actually a definitive sign of a Sasquatch calling. But that's not what we're after tonight. The odds of us seeing Bigfoot, slim to none. If we do see one, we're gonna film it. But we wanna get to the river, and I can hear it from here. Come on, just over this ridge. Ooh, this is creepy.
It's like a beach.
There's the water.
I thought I heard something, sorry.
See all kinds of reflective eyes. All right, I need a big flat rock.
To defend ourselves with?
No, to look under. Not there. Okay, let's venture up this way a little bit.
No, nothing. Oh!
Oh!
What is it?
There's one right here.
What?
Ah!
What is
there
it?
It is! Ah! Oh, gross! Ah!
Where'd it go?
Under the rock, under the rock. Ah, I got it. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, it's trying to bite me. Oh!
There it is!
What is that?
It's a HELLGRAMITE! Oh, mackerel, that's a big one too. Whew. Wow, all right guys, well, if you remember an Instagram post I made a few weeks ago of a creature that looks, oh, it's biting me! Okay, they do bite. There you have it. Everybody want to know, do they bite? Yes, they do bite. It is latched onto my finger right now. Oh, that hurts. But it's not breaking skin. That's, it's got a hold of me. Now, the HELLGRAMITE, can you see it okay there?
Oh yeah.
It's got a hold of me. The HELLGRAMITE is actually the larva stage of the Dobson fly. Now, the Dobson fly, you may be thinking to yourself, oh, well, is that maybe some beautiful butterfly type creature? No, it's about as wicked looking as this thing is, only with big wings and enormous front mandibles. However, those mandibles aren't strong enough to pinch and bite onto anything like the larva stage. Now, I'm gonna turn it slightly like this. Wow. Oh, it is just latched. Now, if the bite isn't enough, what they will also do to deter a predator is squirt a nasty smelling musk from their rear end. And it actually smells just like human feces and—
Ew, what? Smells like
like poop. Exactly like poop. And it has already squirted musk all over my finger. Oh, it absolutely stinks. Biting down harder. That is about the most alien looking creature I think I have ever come across. Like something out of the show Stranger Things. Okay, it's been latched onto my finger for a while now, and what I'm gonna do is just gently dip it into the water. Now they are semi-aquatic, so putting in the water isn't gonna cause any issues, but I do wanna get it off of my finger. All right, here, try this. I'm just gonna set it down gently. It's just like how I get crayfish off of me. Oh, he's not letting go. Let go. Ow! Oh, it's biting out harder. Ow, there it goes. Got it. Okay. Oh, bit me again.
Man.
There we go.
Can't catch a break.
Okay, now let's take a good look at the anatomy of this creature. Look at that underside.
Wow, that is gnarly.
This is like a mix between a scorpion, a centipede, a water bug, and a tremor.
Wait, look at its mouth. That was on your finger.
Yeah, those front mandibles right there, can you see that? Those were latched onto my finger.
Yikes.
And these two back appendages there have hooks on them, just like the rear hooks on a centipede.
Ooh.
See that, how they move backwards? Ow! No! Ah, he's got me right underneath the fingernail. I'm gonna hold him there though. All right, now he's hooked onto me. Oh, there, let go. There, look at that. Oh, wow, that is so bizarre.
I don't know how you're leaving this out.
Ow, it's like an alien. Ah! Oh, it has all these little hooks on its arms.
Just the way it moves. It like slinks.
What did I tell you? It's like a living nightmare. Look at that. Oh, it's hooked onto me. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Can you imagine what it would be like to have one of these things crawl into your ear?
It's gonna eat your brain. Ugh. No, 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 no.
Ow! Oh, that actually really hurts. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Looks pretty good, dude.
I think it's actually poked a hole in my ear. Ow! What do you guys think? HELLGRAMITE earrings? Could this be the new look?
No.
Is it dangling down from my ear?
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
Here, can you turn to the... Oh, my gosh. Hold it there. What if it went in your brain?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I got to get it off my ear. Now... Oh! Ooh! Wow, your ears are a lot softer than your finger. That hurts. So at this point, I pretty much just have to wait for it to drop off on its own.
So you can't just take it off?
Well, if I touch it or pull on it, it's going to just bite down harder.
All right, let's, do you want me to try to get it off?
Let me see.
Ooh.
Ow!
Oh, let's see it. Trim your ear. Oh, wow, yeah.
Is it bleeding?
It's got a good crease. There's a little white speck.
Ouch. Well, I would say that this, without question, is the creepiest looking creature that we have come across here in West Virginia. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave.
stay wild. We'll see you on the next location.
All right, back under your rock, little creeper.
Oftentimes we fear things that have a creepy and alien-looking appearance. Even I'll admit, the moment I found my first Hellgramite, I was incredibly nervous to pick it up, especially with that set of intimidating mandibles. However, in the end, I think what we all learned is that while this creature may look intimidating, it's non-venomous, and its bark is far worse than its bite. Do you know what's creepier than one Hellgramite? 25 Hellgramites.
What's that for?
Well, what Mark doesn't know is that earlier today, when I was down by the river and I found the first Hellgramite, I also found 25 of them. And I'm gonna make Mark put his hand in this bowl full of them.
Hey, Mark. Really? Well, that's cool. So, you know how earlier we started this and I was like, hey, you know what I found today? Something really gross.
Yeah, I know, the Hellgramites.
Yeah, the Hellgramite, right? And that was super gross. Well, I kind of didn't tell you the whole truth.
Okay.
I found one Hellgramite, and then I kept flipping over rocks, and I found 25 Hellgramites.
Dude.
So, what I challenge you to do right now,
Oh my gosh, you really did.
is put your hand into this bowl and see if you get bitten by a Hellgramite.
No.
Yeah, come on. I got stung by a bullet ant.
Come on.
I was stung by a bullet ant, and I just want you to put your hand in there for 60 seconds.
60 seconds?
Yeah, you guys always tell me, can you last for 60 seconds? Can you last for 60 seconds with your hand in a bowl of Hellgramites?
Ooh.
I'll count it down for you. Ready?
Wait, who signed me up for this? I didn't agree to this.
No, well, you know, Mario and I were kind of like, you know, it would be really fun getting Mark finally bitten by something. And it's not that bad. I was even bitten on the ear and it didn't break skin.
Let me see these. 1, 2, 3.
There's 25 of
there's
them.
definitely 25 in there. That's so gross.
Okay, so you know what the line is, right?
No, I don't. What is the
You got to
line?
say your name, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the Hellgramite. And then you got to just place one of your hands in there and let them crawl all over you for 60 seconds.
I don't know, man. You sure you don't want me to film this? Mario, come on.
No. Put you here. Give me your camera.
All right, you're gonna film it?
I'm not gonna film it, just so you don't drop your camera in case you get bitten.
Yeah, let's get ourselves situated. Get on the ground. We'll have a little setup.
And we're gonna do this just like a normal scene here.
All right. I did find a millipede bone.
Did you?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, we don't care that you found a millipede. We care about you getting bitten by Hellgramites.
Do you have a good shot?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping you'd say no.
Here we go. All right, Coyote Pack. Mark is gonna do it.
Okay.
Director of Breaking Trail is gonna enter the bite zone.
Okay. I'm Director Mark, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with 25 Hellgramites. All right, I can't watch this.
Put your hand in there. Come on.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, get in there.
Oh, it's so creepy.
All up on you there.
Oh, they're pooping on you.
Ah, just got bit. Oh no! Oh, there's another one. Oh, God.
Keep your hand in there. Keep your hand in there. All the way in the bowl. All the way in the bowl. That's about 30 seconds.
There's another bite. Oh, there's another bite. See my finger?
That's right.
Oh, there's another bite. Oh, they're biting me, dude.
3, 2,
It actually does hurt.
1. All right, let him out.
Oh,
Hold on. Oh, look at that. It's latched onto him. Let me get. There you go. Now smell your hand.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Mario, smell my hand.
Well, there you had it. Good job, buddy. I'll give you a stinky high five.
I'm like shaking, man. It
hurts a little bit, right?
No, it's just super creepy.
I saw that one really got the side of your finger pretty good.
Oh, they're biting me. Oh, man.
Well, we're going to let all these little Hellgramites go back off into the wild, and they're going to metamorphosize into Dobson flies.
And then they're going to be flying everywhere.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
I think I just got some of that in my eye.
Ugh. All right, guys, I got to wash my hands.
There they go. Look at them go.